For the most part, they've been very precise precision strikes against Al-Qaeda.
Well, where's the evidence that the drone war is protecting us from that?
Number 2 process here! Where is it? The sky?
Cube
Yes,
and the foam.
We have the cube and the foam.
The cube and the foam are what make
but
it
on
look
the
pro.
karaoke one, you'd hear the squish swish of this touching the foam, and it was horrible.
Ah, well.
It's too good.
Ah, well.
Need a shitter mic.
That's it. We have the proper mic now. It doesn't sound as bad, I hope.
Yeah, I think we rehearsed with a karaoke mic for about sort of the first 6 years anyway, so...
You know what they're like. They
Yeah,
can be
yeah.
a little wonky, but they work,
Well,
and that's what
we
matters.
didn't realise there was a great levels of mic. We just thought, like, it's a mic.
It's a mic. It makes a noise.
I was
Like, that'll do
there was just
£5.
like one,
That's
yeah,
a bargain.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's it, exactly.
Then you get the real one, and it's like, oh gosh, this thing is heavy. What the heck am I doing with that?
Yeah. And it actually doesn't sound shit. Like, that's weird.
Exactly. It's very strange when that happens. And how long have you guys been going?
Well, we got together. I suppose it was college years, wasn't it? We were about 17,
Yeah,
18.
so I mean, like
So quite a long time now, about 12.
Within
13
Evil Hour,
years.
within Evil Hour, about since 2011. So we played in, me, Alice, and our bassist Gib played in various other bands. Me and Gib went to school together, so we were in numerous terrible bands for a long time. Not to suggest we're not terrible now either. Like,
You're not, but it was practice.
But we were absolutely terrible back then. So yeah, and then Mike,
our drummer, joined about 6 years ago, and that's when we really sort of
yeah,
we
we started holding it
holding
together.
it together a lot
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
And he made us up our game.
Yeah.
And what's been your inspiration to keep it going all these years?
Well, there's the mixture of the kind of like righteous anger at the world we see around us, and also sort of not wanting to stay in every weekend. I mean, the bottom line is, we like playing gigs, and that's what we get out and do. But it is, a general sort of dissatisfaction at the kind of world we see around us as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, you watch Question Time and it feels like you need to write a song after.
Even I feel that way after that.
After the sort of like, let that frustration be vented somewhere.
So it's a good outlet. It's definitely a good outlet for the rage and frustration that you feel on sort of a daily basis, just looking around.
Once you've been doing it for a long time, like, you get like used to sort of all the bands we see and we're friends with and all the people we've met through the scene, and it would seem really weird to like give that up and not be around it as much, maybe.
Well, and we like playing the music, and we've got a lot better at it now. People seem to appreciate it.
We think,
gets us out.
It feels like we've got better at it anyway.
Yeah.
I think you're good at it. So
Thanks. Yeah.
seen you guys a few times over the years, and you're on STP Records. Am I wrong, or?
We were for a few years. Stu put out our first album.
Yeah, and then
we've moved on to it's Snail Records. It's based out of Switzerland. It's our mate over in Switzerland.
Our friend Nairnad in Switzerland. He just like happened upon us because he was in London seeing the toy dolls, and he said he was staying in a hostel, and some guys were like, "Oh, you should come and see." Who was it? Was it Morning Glory?
Yeah, it was Morning Glory. We're playing at the Pipeline. Shut now. In East London, and he just turned up at one of the shows.
He's like, "Oh, I'll put a record out for you," and we were talking afterwards. Like, Nairnad will see this now. Like, we'll be like, this Swiss guy was like going on about putting a record. He'll be full of shit. And then it turns out now he's a really good friend who was true to his word.
He came on tour with us last year. He books loads of shows for us over in Europe. And he's just he's our label for the latest album, Lights Down.
Yeah.
And where can people get that, by the way?
Well, you can download it off the Bandcamp, you can order it directly from us, you can buy it off us at gigs. I think it's on all that stuff that brings out the raging communist, socialist in me,
Yeah.
like Spotify and iTunes, all that. But I have as little to do with that as possible, really.
It's on all of those, I believe.
So people can get in all the usual places.
Yeah, all the
Money
usual
grabbing
places. Yeah,
bastards,
like
yeah.
stop naming them.
And you mentioned tours. You've been on quite a few tours.
Yeah.
What's the most interesting thing that's happened to you when you've been on tour?
You can deal with that one.
No,
yeah.
I can't. It got quite exciting with Leftover Crack in Manchester that
Yeah,
time.
I mean,
there was a big altercation outside, and
Yeah.
you had to.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like, we haven't had anything like actually, like you'd say, interesting. Like things that have been kind of frustrating have happened, but I don't know that like it's not really that wild, is it? It's kind of like swearing at a sat nav for 6 hours and bemoaning the state of traffic.
Well, that's
And then
England
playing a
in
show.
general.
Yeah, yeah.
don't
But
know.
even in Europe, it's like awesome. Like the show's awesome. You play 40 minutes. The people are lovely. Then you sit in traffic again for another 6 hours and swear at your sat nav
But
some
we do
more.
meet a lot of interesting people, go a lot of
Yeah.
interesting places.
Yeah.
We have fun at Rebellion every year.
How many years have you played Rebellion now?
6, and in no way is that depressing.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. It's actually awesome. Like I was literally just saying to somebody just before we came out here that it's my favourite time of the year, and we have such a good response there every year. You know, we got a foot in the door in like 2012, and since
They've
then
had us back
they've had us
every
back
year,
every
so-
year, and we're just keeping our heads down until until somebody notices, really.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, that festival is just it's like punk rock Christmas.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I get excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying to somebody before, I was like, I constantly have this sort of like, no matter how many years we play it as well, I constantly have this like sort of level of anxiety still that somebody's eventually going to realise that we've just
No, we
like
never-
snuck in and we shouldn't be there and be like,
we never-
guys, come on, game's up, time to leave. And we'll be like,
our
fair enough.
hotels. We never book our hotels because everyone goes, oh, just book your hotels for next year. And we never do it just because we're always like, oh, they might not have us back.
So yeah.
Still need to. Hopefully, we'll be back next year.
Fingers crossed for you, because it is a big thing to be playing, and you get your
Yeah, it's
music out to so many more people that would normally see it.
Yeah.
Well,
and-
definitely, and just the crowd this year was just
Yeah, yeah.
amazing. Like looking out and seeing people who like know the words and stuff like that. And we had a whole like Teesside crew come down from
they'll love the fact
our
that
local
you're
lads.
just giving a shout out to them on that. Yeah. No, but you get to play with bands as well. That like, I was saying
Bad
before.
Religion. We played on the same stage as Bad Religion.
Yeah.
I did this whole thing where I kind of gushed to. I saw Jay Bentley. I was carrying a big box into the venue, and I saw Jay Bentley, the bassist from Bad Religion, and I was like, I never thought I'd get to play on the same stage as you. And he went, why? And I went, because you're Bad Religion. You're the best band in the world. And then we watched them later on. I mean, it was just. I never thought we'd get to do stuff like that. So that's amazing.
No, that was one of the things, like getting to play with bands that used to wait to buy the new CD of. It's like, it's kind of like pinch yourself sort of time,
Exactly.
So that's kind of the best part of it, really.
Yeah.
Have you played anything else, any other festivals or gigs that have been of that level to you? Maybe not in the level in other people's eyes, but
I don't
we did
think
Kentish Town Forum that time.
with the Exploited.
Because with the Exploited, and we did we opened for the Exploited, and the last time.
Discharge as well,
Discharge,
and Paranoid
and
Visions.
the last time we'd been there was like we went to see Refused there in like what was it, like 2013?
Something like
And
that.
it was the fact that when we were standing there doing the sound check and we're like looking out going, I never thought I'd see it from this way round.
We were stood there.
Yeah,
we couldn't
well,
get any
that's where
further
we were
forward
stood,
because
yeah.
it was that busy. So.
And then when we played our local O2 Academy as well in Newcastle, and that was pretty mental as well because again, last time we were there we saw No Effects. We never expected to
never
expected to see it from the other way around.
standing on the stage looking out at where you stood.
And we had a really good response there as well, which was awesome. So,
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we've done a lot of individual gigs though with bands. Like once playing with Leftover Crack, Ignite.
that
like,
was a big deal. Oh,
we
and
never
playing
thought
with
we'd,
playing with Ignite, that was again another one where we were just like, whoa, what's happening?
Oh my gosh, we're really here.
Yeah. Well, that's it exactly. So like, yeah. It's kind of when you've listened to their music for that long, and it's like. It's just kind of exciting to be there, basically, the fact you've got onto that show.
Oh, and I think because getting to do some of the extra vocals for Leftover Crack as well, because they've got a lot of female vocals on the new album. So when we toured with him, I was doing like 3 songs a night with him, and that still, I'm just fangirling the whole time. Just, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening! And then you come off afterwards, and you're just like, that was amazing. So yeah.
Some pretty interesting and good stuff for you guys.
Yeah.
Where do you go from here? Do you have any big tours planned, or are you just kind of taking step back and looking at things?
Well, we've got well, we're playing loads actually. Sort of, it's to promote the new album because we released that in August, and then we've got mainland Europe in October. We've got, I think, 8 shows in 10 days that we're doing over a week. And what is it, like Germany, Switzerland,
Austria,
places like that. You know, some places we haven't been to before as well. So I mean, we're not going anywhere. We'll keep hammering away at this until people tell us to stop.
Just kind of repeating everything we've been doing.
Until it gets really, really sad and everyone's just like, oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Until we're that embarrassing band that people are like, Jesus Christ, will they just give it up? Like, I wish they'd stop.
I somehow think that day is not going to be coming.
They're destroying what pitiful legacy they created. They're just ruining it. It's an embarrassment. We'll still be doing it.
I think you're going to be in your Zimmer frames and your wheelchairs saying the same thing, waiting for that to happen, and it's not happening.
So. Yeah, hope so.
Yeah.
It's been a good ride so far.
Yeah.
I would like to thank you both very much for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you for speaking to us. Thank you for speaking to us.
And we really look forward to seeing you on stage at the Brum Punx Picnic. I can't quite say that today.
Yeah.
No, I did it. Couldn't do it.
Yep.
Brum Punx Picnic.
Yes,
there we
that
go.
one.
What he said.
Yeah, what I said. It's the only time somebody from the Northeast's like the most coherent at English.
What happened there? Wait a minute. Usually you guys need subtitles.
Yeah, I know. You put the subtitles in later. Way aye, man.
Way aye.
Thank you again.